if I can borrow a thread from what Greg spoke about, the common connection here would be that they really identified her work around building a web of life, but in a community context. So instead of thinking about it in a forest, it was thinking about it in a community and how we build the sort of connections that allow for a healthy community to thrive and grow. And they thought that was a particularly important element of her work to recognize with this year's Heinz Award in the Human Condition. Angela.
So I'm deeply grateful for this rather profound and meaningful form of encouragement that you've created. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Heinz family and to the staff of Heinz Endowment. So a few years ago, I'm just realizing I don't have the clicker. This is common for me. To discover that I don't have the technology in my hand that I need. So a few years ago in Houston, we were welcoming wave after wave of people coming to our city from around the world. At the same time, we were welcoming people who came to Houston because of Katrina. And it was at that moment I began to be fascinated with the story of when things fall apart, what happens next? What is it really like when the world in some way rips from beneath our feet everything we're accustomed to, everything we count on for our identity, for our security, for our sense of purpose? And I started to look around the world and realize how much disruption is a part of our lives. We are all vulnerable creatures. We are all in the same boat. Worldwide now, over 65 million people now live outside of their homes and not by choice. And they're flowing into cities around the world. And honestly, we've thought of cities in almost every way, except for as places for flows of people. We've thought of them as places, way stations for goods and intersections for data, at places where knowledge is created, but as landing places for people, not so much. Yet increasingly, as we look around the world, we see that people are seeking higher ground. That when war and weather turn their lives upside down, when they've lost their wealth and loss of health, send them looking for higher ground. They're flowing into cities. And all of us, I think, look with some fear at what's happening and say, what if that's us? And what we hope that when our time comes, when we're facing disruption, when everything falls from beneath our feet, that someone reaches out and pulls us from the water. And that when that happens, that we're not only saved as a matter of charity, but that we're welcomed and embraced as a matter of humanity. See, and I think the cities of the future, the greatest cities of the future, will be those that create landing places, welcoming places, where people who are displaced and sent into uncertainty can be made to feel at home, but also given the opportunity to earn, learn, and belong. Wherever I've been, in shelters and refugee camps, in community centers, all over the world, the things that unite us are these yearnings, these three common hungers. So I see cities as these places where we can create the means by which people not only can land, but we build on-ramps to opportunity. And I'll tell you that the greatest countries of the future will not be those that build walls, turn back boats, and slam doors. And none of us is off the hook for welcome. We own this country, and the ground we stand on, we must hold for the next person who's coming. This is what we owe the world, and we must stand that ground no matter what. And that ground is a place of opportunity and hope, an embrace of the human spirit. We must come to see that disruption is the opportunity for an expression of deep faith in the possibility of generosity and connection and closeness and love. Because I truly, truly believe the human spirit is not extinguishable. It is a light, and it burns, and we support it and nurture it and embrace it by what we do with one another when we need it most. Thank you.